All right, we're here with another good old assignment. Hey, students. So, right now I'm trying to get to the end of it. I did skip one video that I hope to make later, and if I don't make it, once again, get with your classmates and see if they can help you with that assignment. It was review of module 3, topic 1 and 2. I skipped that one because it was a lot of pages and I'm trying to get done with the shorter ones first because it's very late right now, and yeah. Let's get through with this. So, this particular assignment was the relationship matters one. Now, in this one in particular, you needed to read the directions, and I did want a paper copy because this one was not in Schoology to where you could put it in. Now, you can upload it in Schoology, so this assignment could be uploaded in Schoology, or you could give me the physical paper. One or the other needed to be done. So this one you did not need to email me, but you could upload it in Schoology as long as you took a picture of it and put it in your documents or files, depending on what kind of laptop or computer you have. Or if you took a picture and just sent that image from your phone into through Schoology. But if you don't want to do all that, you can email this to me. Just let me know so I know to check that email and look for your name to see that I got it. Now, once again, I will not be reading the directions, but for this particular assignment, to kind of help you out, I am going to have to describe what you are doing. So there's that. Now, the only thing I will say for this one is there is something specific you need to be doing. So we're going to get into that after I explain. This is a two-part assignment. You have the top half, which involves number 1 through 3, and then you have the bottom half, which involves 4 through 6. Now, 4 through 6, because of how it's broken up, I count this twice, 1 point for each side. And if you read the directions, you'll understand why. Now, for the top half, you are literally checking to see if these were done right and if they weren't, corrected. Now, how you are going to correct it is you're going to use PEMDAS. Now, because you done had quite a few tests so far this 9 weeks, if you've watched any of those major assignment videos, well, not any of them, if you watched the Module 4 Topic 1 video, I talked about PEMDAS in that video. Now, I will be going more in depth here because this is a daily work and not a major grade, but PEMDAS is something you very much need to know because it is very important for later. Okay, it's very important now, but you still need to know it later. So, PEMDAS stands for parentheses or grouping symbols. I prefer it to stand for grouping symbols because even though the actual letter comes from parentheses, you need to do this to all grouping symbols in the order from left to right. Next, you have exponents, which need to be done from left to right. Then multiply and divide from left to right. And then add and subtract from left to right. Please do not think you have to do multiplication before division. That is not how it works. If a division symbol is shown before you get to the multiplication symbol, you do that first and then you do multiplication last. Same thing with addition and subtraction. If the subtraction comes before the addition, you are to subtract first. You are not allowed to do these in the order of letter. You are supposed to do them in reading order, and we read from left to right. Okay? So let's break it down. So we got parentheses, which includes the actual parentheses. You have the braces. No, I think that's matrices and this is the braces. I don't know. Some of these terms I get confused with others. But these are usually the grouping symbols you will see. You will also see the fraction bar as one. Just pretend these two lines are together because there's no actual fraction bar I can use. Exponents. Now let's see if I can actually insert an exponent. Hey, we got symbols and emojis. Let's see if this works. No, it doesn't have the exponent. Oh well, just use the caret. So this is how you write an exponent if you don't have the option to put it in the top right corner, which sometimes you will and sometimes you won't. But this is, if you look right here where I'm pointing with this arrow, this 2 right here next to this 3, that is the exponent. The exponent is attached to a base, and this base is a number, not the bottom of a shape. So there are 2 types of bases in math. You have the base of a shape. So any kind of base of a shape, remember the base is what's touching the floor. And then you have the base of a power. Now, powers have 2 parts. You have the base and you have the exponent. So the exponent is just letting you know what to do. I think they called it exponent instead of power because they didn't want 2 P's in a row, because actually you're doing a power. You're taking a base, using the exponent that goes with it to figure out a value. But exponents are next, and you solve them from left to right. Then you have multiplication and division. Now, remember multiplication, we no longer use the x in middle school because the x is now a variable, and I don't want you to get that confused with it meaning multiplication anymore. So you're either going to use the dot. For the dot, I'm just going to use shift 8, the asterisk. But you use the dot, or you use parentheses for multiplication. Then for division, you have the slash bar, which is usually what we use for the fraction bar. I didn't use it up there because the fraction bar is actually a horizontal line, not a slash. But if I see this symbol, I will assume you are telling me you're doing a division problem. You can also do the division symbol itself. That means division. And I'm trying to think of the other thing. Does it have it? It doesn't. And then you have the half box, which also means division. Although you really won't see this one in an order of operation problem, for the simple fact of this is how you set up to solve with usually bigger numbers. So even though this is a symbol for division, most likely you will not see this one in an order of operation problem. And then last but not least is addition and subtraction. This is also from left to right, and they are only plus and minus. They really don't have any other signs that are associated with them. Unlike multiplication and division, which have a couple of different symbols that can represent those operations, these are the only 2 that represents addition and subtraction. And even then, these symbols also represent positive and negative. So they do have double meanings depending on the context that you are using them in. So remember, just to make everything simple, solve all from left to right. All right, solve everything from left to right, and that will help you make less issues than not. Just solve everything from left to right. Look for all the parentheses. If you got 2 or more, solve it from left to right. Exponents, solve it from left to right. Multiplication and division, read and solve it from left to right. I wish I had a good example, but this is a good example. So here we have division and then we have multiplication. In the case of this problem, because when I read this, the first thing I read is division, then multiplication, I'm going to divide Well, when I get to that part, because there is something else that comes before division in this problem. But when I get to just division and multiplication, I am going to divide first because I have to do this from left to right, which means division would come first in this, and then multiplication would come afterwards. You do not solve multiplication just because the letter comes first in the order of the initials. It's from left to right. You have to read it from left to right, and the first one you read is the first one you do when you get here, and the same thing here. The first one you read is the first one you do. So I hope that information. Oh, I forgot to talk about the second part. Thank you for reminding me. No one else is here, so I just remembered on my own. Don't get messed up. I'm not crazy. Okay, I'm not that crazy. So, second part, you have two of the same problems. And you may be thinking, Miss, what in the world am I even supposed to do? Well, number one, I told you to read the directions, didn't I? But I also told you I'm not reading the directions. You need to read them. I'm just going to summarize something, and that's going to be it. So the reason you have two of the same things is because it's trying to show you what can happen if you solve it wrong. So if you don't use order of operations correctly, you could wind up getting two separate answers if you solved it correct one way and then solved it wrong another way. So the reason there are two of them is because one of them is right and one of them is wrong. And instead of resolving the one that is wrong, you just need to tell me what they didn't do correctly. So what step did they misplace? Did they add before they multiply? Did they skip the exponent? Did they not solve the parentheses? Did they add something that wasn't supposed to be added together? Things of that nature. What did they do wrong? Just tell me that one thing and you're done. But you also have to identify which one was done correctly, because one of them is correct. And that is the same for the other two also. All of it is repeat, but notice the answers are different. So one of them is going to be correct. They solved it correctly. The other one, they solved it wrong, but what did they do wrong? You just have to tell me the what, and that's it. So that is all that is to this assignment. I hope this video was helpful. If it was not, I suggest you ask a friend that has the class to help you with the assignment. And once again, if you don't want to ask that person or anybody at all, and you just want to ask me and I'll see what I can do. Bye.